Sorry about it. Yeah, it'll just sit in the background, won't do anything.
A tender moment. The world is in disarray. And I'd like us to join together in song. And I'll just give a line and ask that we repeat it. All we are saying is give peace a chance. All we are saying is give peace a chance. Once more. All we are saying is give peace a chance. Ahimsa. Resisting the urge to strike out. Anaikantavada. Acknowledging, accepting. People think differently. There is no need to strike out. In a parigraha, I invite you to lift your right hand, or if you're left-hand dominant, lift your left hand and form a fist, please, right now. And feel that tightness and that capacity to hurt, and release your fingers. Let them become gentle. Padmanabhjani stood before us in this space of Kalpali Pomona, embodying in his personhood the impetus for the creation of the Kellogg Center. And I just want us all to remember that the man who donated the land was a vegetarian for this place. Kellogg's cereal, a new way to think about food and a new way to think about nonviolence. We've seen invoked here on the screen the names of Gandhi and King. And a couple of people in the slides that I yearned to see were Quakers, Kenneth and Elise Boulding. And my wife and I met and married in Quaker meeting, and since childhood have walked together in a commitment as educators to let the hand release. Aparigraha. Don't let it become a fist. Let it be an embrace. Once more, I'll say it and you say it. All we are saying is give peace a chance. Everybody? All we are saying is give peace a chance. Now, all of us have our memories of being at the events, and I just want to share a couple from the past. One was Ruth Beaglehole, the founder of the Center for Nonviolence and Parenting in Los Angeles in Echo Park. And she held forth her core teaching. It's never raise even your voice against your child. A lifelong advocate and educator, demonstrating through her example the great precept offered by the mother of James Lawson, the teacher of nonviolence, the teacher of the Freedom Riders. And his mother said to him as a child, "There must be a better way." And as she brought that teaching to this assembly, she raised a question. A question: have you ever hit your children? And saw these looks of, ooh. And then when Pavanab Jaini was asked by my colleague, Swasti Bhattacharya, who was raised in the ashram in Sevagram, and her father was a companion of Mahatma Gandhi, as was her mother, and she asked, she said, "Well, I grew up in an ashram, and I got slapped around if I wasn't behaving right." So she said, "Dr. Jaini, did you hit your children?" And he, with his wonderful sense of humor and sort of diffusing the whole situation, said, "Well, I wouldn't be telling you one way, if in fact that were the case." But those moments of jocularity, those moments of community and honesty, of satyagraha, that have been brought forth through the amazing work of the center, truly unforgettable. And I'm so happy that the provost, the dean, Tara herself, have acknowledged that the work of Laura Hirschfield, the work of all of those many teachers who participated, who are in that wonderful work of creating the future generation, that these children, touched by the lives of those educators within the Ahimsa Center, that those lives will hear the message: there must be a better way. Observe, as we move forward with our work, many as educators, but many within families, all of us, members of a larger society, we must pay attention. And as painful as it can be to hear of the disassembling of core precepts of the Voters' Rights Act, we have to, having made that observation, experience a little bit of grief and make a resolve. Identify what can be done to bring healing to a divided society. And I want to lift up Farah Godrej, who has spent years amidst incarcerated people, bringing that calm and silence, and I'm sure a little bit of infectious joy, so badly needed in circumstances of confinement, circumstances of difficulty. We have family friends whose parents, in the very first weeks of the immigration crackdown, the dad, a practicing phlebotomist in Orange County for 30 years, registering as required every year with immigration, whisked off to a detention camp, banished to their native Colombia. And their daughter stood up in front of Congress and said, "Is this the best we can do?" Is this the best we can do? Martin Luther King famously said, "The moral arc of the universe bends toward justice." Spontaneously, people smiled and applauded when the image of Dolores Huerta flashed in front of the screen. And part of the vulnerability of nonviolence is to remember, to recall, even if it sometimes seems too late, to call out injustice and make a shift. What we're reminded again and again, our greatest teachers are the ones who provide the rebuke. Dolores Huerta, I remember her here and at my own campus, so quiet, so self-assured, a mother of more than a dozen children, a remarkable figure to emulate, along with Paulo Freire, who brought forth the need for our own conscientization. Okay, it's quite a mouthful. I've practiced it many times, but we need to learn what is happening in the world so that we can then skillfully within our own lives apply the principles of Ahimsa, the principle of speaking and standing up for truth, the principle, the undergirding force of sustainability, the principle of asteia, not stealing from each other, not stealing from Mother Earth, the principle of brahmacharya, of holding ourselves with dignity and regarding all others with dignity, and then that all-important practice of aparigraha, relaxing that all too human urge to grab, to grasp, and to hold. And in that holding, to commit violence. Paulo Freire, conscientization. Marshall Rosenberg, nonviolent communication. Understanding one's own emotions, identifying needs, and with honesty, making the gentle request, offering the gentle gesture, making room for the perspectives of others. Jane Addams, the social gospel movement. We need a new Jane Addams as we see it's not just that people have drug problems. To quote an old slogan, and pardon the strength of my language here, the rent is too damn high. And we can do something to make these things better. Eleanor Roosevelt. Okay? And if you've not made the journey up to Hyde Park, the Hudson River, toward Albany from New York City, go visit and be in the afterglow of her remarkable work bringing forth the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, standing up for human dignity. This work continues with the teachers. This work continues at Fresno State, This work continues, and many of us earlier this week gathered together at Cal State Long Beach to talk about this wonderful principle of anaikantavada. We must dialogue with one another. We must make it possible to walk in another person's shoes. So I'm going to end with, again, asking for your vocal participation. Our daughter's name is Emma, after Emma Goldman, a great feminist anarchist of 100 so years ago. And a group called Emma's Revolution brought forward a song for the 21st century. And I'm just going to give you a couple of lines. Keep on walking forward, keep on walking forward, keep on walking forward, never turning back, never turning back. So let's try that together. Keep on walking forward, keep on walking forward, keep on walking forward, never turning back, never turning back. So a gesture rather than like we're going to fight, what we're going to do, just lift your hand and then just let it go. Let it go, aparigraha. Peace, ahimsa, carry on.